Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Today, we shall discuss Brad and Chris. Have they betrayed the XRP community by not pressing for more before dropping the case? I've heard that argument before. As a result, I'd like to examine it. We also have some other business to attend to, so let's get down to business. This is the first one we've seen from Wire, and it's been the most popular so far today. According to him, a major security flaw in the Lightning Network was just uncovered by one of the leading Bitcoin developers. It's true that doing so poses a security risk. But now things start to get ridiculous. He asserts that an attacker can simply get complete control of the network through an intended backdoor in the programming. There are two issues with that. The first is that it has no escape hatches. Second, there is difficulty involved. This is the convoluted situation, and if you're interested in reading more about it, I'll publish it here. Although it's difficult, there is a technique for an attacker to steal money from Lightning Network users. No one has ever witnessed it being carried out in the real world. Yet, it is not impossible. This is a major issue. If that were conceivable, then you can bet that somebody would try to carry off such a heist, and they would probably be successful at it. This is a reality that they must face. Now, one developer's take on the matter is that the only way to make the necessary adjustments is to modify Bitcoin Core itself. And the difficulty in making Bitcoin transactions is well known. Right? It can now be run on inexpensive and easy-to-use hardware. I run a Bitcoin node on a Raspberry Pi at home. The network's decentralization is threatened if the hardware requirements are made more stringent because fewer individuals will run nodes. And you already know the outcome of it. They are wary of making any changes to Bitcoin Core that may increase its computational requirements or complexity, for fear of harming the cryptocurrency's decentralized character. According to this developer, we have a serious problem on our hands. How do we proceed? Should we give up on Lightning now? Should we tinker with Bitcoin Core and perhaps compromise decentralization? You should know this since it threatens Lightning Network's security. However, I'm willing to bet that as developers dig deeper into the issue, they'll come up with a solution that isn't quite as drastic as either of those two. However, we must remain vigilant. This is natural when working with crypto. You push forward and build out. Of all, even the best-written programs can have bugs and issues that need fixing. Indeed, this is a significant challenge. Once again, it is not one that has had any impact in the real world. But how they handle it remains to be seen. For Lightning, this marks a crucial turning point. Can they make it through this and keep expanding the system with new users? Or do we have a death warrant? Plus, I'm not sure. If I had to guess, though, I'd say they'll fix it without disrupting Bitcoin Core. They'll survive, too. Many bright minds are working to improve Bitcoin. In addition, I wager that this is a viable option, albeit a very involved one. All you need to know is that he's just being sensational and adding to the problem in order to attract more attention, and that there is in fact no planned backdoor or anything of the sort. That's all there is to it, then. I don't understand why a small group of people who may not have much invested in XRP shouldn't have their votes counted, but this account caught my eye. KhalidElwadi.xrp said we need to transfer the voting rights from the validators to the top 1,000 investors in XRP. The same can be said about that. While many validators and developers aren't looking to make a profit off of XRP, they are trying to accomplish innovative things with the technology. However, they do not have a large quantity of physical currency. They have entirely too much electricity, he added, since they operate their nodes or whatever on their PCs. Moreover, I understand what the poster is trying to convey. However, this is the core problem at hand. First of all, who truly has the knowledge to work through things like AMA that is up for question right now, and find out if this is good or not? Developers, both those affiliated with Ripple and those working independently, will be able to examine the data and deduce the impact on the network. That responsibility cannot, in my opinion, be delegated. Just a normal stockholder. I can't say. David's arguments are so convincing that I have no choice but to listen to them. The other developers that disagree with claim it's awful only because they need additional information. They're worried about that. And they are the ones with the resources to solve this kind of problem. That's where everyone, including David, the independent devs, and Ripple, the corporation, comes in. They're dedicated XRP users who want what's best for the network. What if the logic fails and nobody can make a living? They'll have talks, they'll figure it out. I get the idea that those with the most financial clout should have the upper hand. But we don't know, and we're not capable of making a lot of these decisions. It's best to leave it to the folks who do the work of operating these systems and understand the underlying architecture here and the implications that new innovations will have. That, in my opinion, is the crux of the matter. They will just split off and start their own chain if we expel the validators and say things like, "Hey, you developers, you have no more power, it's all the investors." And the XRP will be used anywhere Ripple and these devs are constructing. And so, our new power ledger will have no development, no validators, and go offline, so we'll be left with nothing. Therefore, our influence is limited. Also, I really just want to put money into physical assets. And I paid attention to what the knowledgeable folk have to say, and I've either decided to put my money where their mouth is or I've moved on to other investments. I think it's great that XRP is in a period of change right now, when new things are being built and discussed and efforts are being made to advance to a higher level. There's still work to be done to make sure it's safe, but we'll get there eventually. Some things will make the cut, while others probably won't. The library is closing its doors for the night. In addition, evidence suggests that the company went bankrupt not only because of the SEC's decision to shut them down, but also because the cost of defending itself in court exhausted its last financial resources. Indeed, that is the case. A library could keep on indefinitely if it had sufficient funding. But that's the trouble with the SEC's ataxia. You have to spend a fortune defending yourself in court against their frivolous claims. Well, let's assume Library Incorporated runs out of money. The blockchain, however, will live forever. And it will be even more effective if others build upon it. But that's the true risk we're talking about, that you can afford your defense and your ongoing operations will not bleed you dry, put you out of business if you are not only constructed for bear, like Ripple, and if you have a lot of money and XRP and stuff like that. And that's what the library proved to us. The SEC seems likely to approve a Bitcoin ETF in the next months, according to various reports. What you have learned so far is, at best, conjecture. But I anticipate that they will take as much time as they possibly can, which would put it somewhere around the months of January and February. That's our best initial shot, so maybe they'll put things off for as long as they can. But you know, you've got your Black Rocks and your Fidelities, so you can rest assured that this will be completed. Since the introduction of exchange-traded funds (ETFs) for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, I've seen that many individuals are concerned that large financial institutions like BlackRock and Fidelity would eventually come to control the whole cryptocurrency market. If that is the case, then crypto was never all that effective. That's why we're making this effort in the first place. They have given in to our demands. Whether for financial transactions, money transfers, or other uses, they will eventually have to adopt our technology. This is their admission of defeat. They know they must move in this direction, since they will never be able to successfully acquire decentralized technology. They can speculate on it, profit from it, and even play little market games, but they cannot grasp the essential features of blockchain. Indeed, it is the point. And that's precisely why it's priceless. If not, no one would want to buy it. If BlackRock can influence deals and take possession of property, then the company has virtually unlimited power. If they could freeze the money in your wallet, then you might as well not bother carrying it around. Traditional financial institutions will not replace them, therefore that is not a concern of mine. They're finally giving in to DOS and acknowledging that they were wrong. You know, this is the future of money and finance. And that's what we've been saying from the start. Okay, that seems to be happening. They will not stop us. And they cannot stop us, it's as simple as that. That's the crux of the matter. I'd want to elaborate on this a bit now. The SEC decided to abandon their case against Brad and Chris, and we saw that happen. Again, the allegations were made against the executives on a personal level, and the SEC decided against proceeding to trial. And there are many reasons for that, including the fact that they are likely to lose, that they will not look good, and that unpleasant information may emerge during the trial. People felt that Ripple should have negotiated harder, telling them to EI.